Hey guys, I'm back at it again, and yeah, you can tell I'm in a different spot than I usually am, and well, that's just some family stuff. So, for right now, any of my future videos, I'm gonna have to do it in this room, so that's why different spot, and of course, I'm actually using my phone on the flashlight mode for the light, since the light was actually too dark. So that's why it looks a little bit off. My mic audio might also be a little bit different because I had to put it in a different spot, and the way I'm recording it is a little bit jagged, let's just say. But we're back at it again, and we'll be talking about pretty much a conclusion to the classic mainline NES Mario games, Super Mario Bros. 3. Now, for Super Mario Bros. 3, it actually came out, I think, a year prior in Japan, but for Americans, they got the short end of the stick, and it didn't come out until 1990, I believe. Now, for the hype for this game was absolutely real. Everybody was talking about it, everybody was thinking about it. You couldn't really go anywhere without someone bringing it up. Now, because of this, and what I just said about Americans not getting the chance to see any gameplay yet, only screenshots, Nintendo actually decided to capitalize on this hype, and they made a movie. Technically, someone else made it, but it's essentially just a Nintendo ad. And at the very end of the movie, it shows off like Super Mario Bros. 3 gameplay. Everybody got like really excited about it, and that's really the only noteworthy thing about this movie. It's called The Wizard. If you want to look it up, but I mean, no point to it since, like I just said, it's a movie, but it's mainly just a Nintendo ad for all their games at the time, like their Game Boy, Game Glove, all that sort of stuff. So unless you're a Nintendo fanboy like me, you're probably not gonna find any use of it. Now, right after creating both Super Mario Bros. 1, Lost Levels, and USA, Miyamoto felt like he should just conclude the, I guess, not so trilogy, but also kind of trilogy. He felt like he should conclude it at the very least. So with Super Mario Bros. 3, his task for the game was to make it the ultimate 2D Mario game, at least for the time. And so that's exactly what he did. He started to work on it with his team, and everything seemed to come together. And then finally, in America, it got released, and that's where I come in to talk about, was it worthy of being called the ultimate Mario game? Was it worthy of getting the hype to it? Don't know. Well, at least not yet. So, my history with the game isn't exactly the deepest. Pretty much like Super Mario Bros. 2 USA, I saw gameplay of it on a YouTuber, and I wanted to play it. I never got to until the Wii U, and I bought it, and yeah. The only thing is, I also sucked at the game as well. I would say not as much as USA, because in this one I actually got past the first level, but I only got up to World 2 every single time I tried to play it, and I would get a game over, and I would pretty much just stop playing it. So yeah, pretty much I'm conquering my childhood video game trauma, or not really trauma. I guess you could say feat or whatever. I'm not really too sure. Without further ado, Super Mario Bros. 3. Let's get right into it. But this time it's a little bit different since I actually do have a friend playing with me, playing as Luigi. So that's why you're seeing both Mario and Luigi in some of the gameplay I'm going to be showing further in the video. Now, for the story of this game, it's actually pretty much like the other ones. Princess Peach actually gets kidnapped by Bowser. Mario has to go save her, and he has to go through 8 worlds this time, and that's pretty much about it. The only noteworthy about this game is that Princess Peach and Mario, and including Bowser himself, along with all the enemies you actually do meet, aren't actually doing this for real. And what I mean by that is, if you can actually tell in the opening cutscene, there's a red curtain that actually pulls up, and in some of the levels, you actually see shadows behind certain clouds, bushes, to symbolize that this is a wooden plank or something like that, like you would see in a stage play. And that's exactly what it is. This is all a play set by, we don't really know who, maybe Master Hand or some shit, who really knows. But yeah, and nobody really knew about this. Some people had their thoughts and like theories, But until Miyamoto actually confirmed this, much like myself and some other people, I just thought, nah, there's no way. It's kind of stupid and a little bit weird. But now, just looking back on it, it was right there in my fucking face. So, why the fuck did I not know this? I don't know. I was a little dumb kid back then. Something that I did forget to mention is that in each world, at the very end, instead of fighting Bowser just multiple times, you actually get to fight his new minions in this game, which is the Koopa Kids. Which I'm not gonna say all their names. All their names are on screen, so have fun. But yeah. Now, since I said Koopa Kids, they're not his actual kids. They're just his minions of his. The only actual son he has, or any child of that, is going to be a character we haven't even seen yet. Not until much later in the franchise. We'll actually get to see his child of his, which they never explain how he came to be, or even what the mother is. So yeah. But with each of the Koopa Kids, they actually transformed each of the respective rulers of each land into a random animal or just insect, pretty much whatever you can think of. There's like a dog and then a spider, I think, and some other weird shit. I don't really know why, but they just did it to do it. After we beat them, we grab their magic wand and we revert them back. We revert them back to their original human forms. I swear to God, one of them is just Mario with a different skin color. Like, what the fuck is this? Come on now. Long lost cousin or brother or some shit? I need to know answers. Come on, Nintendo. Give me the answers. But yeah, after that, you're following your standard Mario game beats. Now, going into controls, Mario and Luigi pretty much control the exact same as previous games, minus the whole picking up shit, which I don't really know how they just lost that ability, but I guess they just lost that ability. I mean, I can't really say much about it, except in replace of it, they actually gained the ability to somewhat fly, or I guess gain a higher jump than normal. And you can see on the screen right now, in the bottom left corner, there's actually a gauge on how fast you're going. So yeah, I guess they can have fucking speed limits in Mario now. What the fuck? But it gauges how fast you're actually moving. And if you get to where the P wing is, alright, I've been trying to say this a normal way, but I really can't. P wing? Okay. So when it gets up to the P wing, my god, I can't stop thinking about that now. But when it gets up to the P wing, you actually have the ability to jump and somewhat get a higher jump than normal, along with letting you know that you're at top speed. Every other move from the previous games are in this one. So one thing about the game design is that each time you do in a level, you get this little slot machine where it just gives you additional lives. But the thing about this game that I don't particularly like, and really is the only thing I don't like, is that once you, whether that's player 1, Mario, player 2, Luigi, die, every level in that world, not the whole game, but in that world, for example, World 2, guess what? You have to replay those levels with either Mario or Luigi again. And I just never really liked that aspect of the game. I mean, sure, it makes it challenging, but you already beat it once. So what's the point of beating it twice just for you to say I beat it again? I don't know. I just never really liked that aspect of it. In the fourth game, you finally have themes of each world, and it's not this random shit as the previous ones. You have a grass world, desert world, snow world, a big and small world. All pretty interesting stuff, actually. I believe the first time in the franchise's history, auto scroll levels, which they just automatically scroll. I've never been a particularly big fan on these, just because you have to go at the game's pace and not your own pace. And half the time I end up dying because of that. So yeah, not really a huge fan on these. You also get random encounters. Of course, they're not particularly random. You can see them on the map. You just don't know what type of enemy are. But as soon as you beat them, you get a little power up. Something that me and my friend found out by accident. If you, playing as Mario or Luigi, go to the same spot where the other character is and hit the A button, you actually get to fight in a classic, I forgot when it came out, but classic Super Mario Bros. Game. And I don't know, I just found that a little bit of an interesting fact. I just randomly found this out just because, like I said, we were digging around. So yeah, pretty cool. In this game, there are two types of toad houses you can go into. This one being with three chests, and you get to pick whichever one. It can be a mushroom, fire flower in this case, Hammer suit, any type of power up. Here is the second version of the Toad House as I mentioned before. In this one, you're just playing matchmaker to where you just line up whichever power up you're going to get, and you get that many lives. With a mushroom, it's 2 lives, with a star, it's 5, and with a fire flower, I believe it's just 3. Now, this isn't really a Toad House, but more of a playing card game where you're just playing matchmaker, and that's really about it. You have 2 chances, and if you blow both of those, the game just kicks you out, and you do get another try in either the same world at a later date or in the next one. Now, moving on to Mario and Luigi's special power ups they have in this game. All the returning ones, including the mushroom, fire flower, and star, are making their expected return in this game, except this time Mario actually has a few new abilities, one of which is the Super Leaf and the Tanuki suit, which remember how I talked about the P-Wing? Yeah. So, if you have one of these two powers, it actually lets Mario fly. Just a little quick note I actually almost forgot. So when you have the Tanuki suit or the Leaf, in terms of how to control flying, you have to mash the button. You have to mash the A button to be exact. And in my opinion, I just don't really like this because half the time in other future Mario games, it's always just holding the button, never mashing it. So half the time, running straight off the ledge. Like, I don't really know why that was a thing, but I'm happy it's only in this game. Like we'll see in a future Mario game, which I will get around playing, they also immediately decided to swap the control design because they thought that was stupid as well. So, I mean, hey, I like that. I'm glad Nintendo's thinking like me. Mario's official name for when he gets a Super Leaf is called Raccoon Mario. Now, real quick, before you say anything, don't ask me how a raccoon can fly. I thought they could just steal shit and be really cool, and then Sony just forgets about them for like 20 years. But yeah, moving on. And then Tanuki, well, it's supposed to be based off a legendary Japanese mythology creature that can allow it to transform into anything it wants. Except in this one, he just wants to turn to a fucking statue and just be a statue. I don't really know why. Including with the whole Buddha priest shit. Don't really know what's up with that, but it's a thing. Mario can do it along with Luigi. It makes him invincible, but I mean, at what cost? All he can do is just stand there. And that's really the only difference between the two power ups, which, in my opinion, they should have just kept the Tanuki suit and just scrapped the Super Leaf. Because the Super Leaf just sounds like the less superior of the two. But that's just my opinion. Now, moving on to the Hammer Bros suit, which is probably my second favorite power up in this game. Like I just stated in the name, it's a Hammer Bros suit, so it gives you ability like the Hammer Bros throw hammers, except you can't really control where they're being thrown. They're just more of an angle, so it kind of sucks in that respect, in that sequence. But other than that, I think it's a pretty cool power up. Also, you can apparently just hold the crouch button and you're invincible, which I had no fucking idea. In fact, I don't even have gameplay for that. I'm just saying that now because I just found that out. Now, moving on to my least favorite power up, which is the boot. Now, with the boot, it's a lot more sequence based, and what I mean by that is you do little hops and you can pretty much just walk on spikes. But I mean, that's really the only ability it has to give you, which I mean, it's not really required to actually beat the game or even set the level. Because you can actually just jump on the platforms that the game gives you or just run it across so if you have a power up. So I don't really know the real purpose of this power up because it doesn't really enhance Mario's ability, hence the name Power Up. It just more so gives him a power, and that's really about it. So why I gave it my least favorite power up in the game. Now for the frog suit, this one is very much like the boot, except when you actually use it in a water level, it truly does feel like a power up because you're actually able to move faster in the water. You have 8 directions you have to choose from. Instead of just going a simple left and right, you can go up and down, corner, corner, up left, up right. It's pretty cool actually, and I actually really enjoyed it when I had a water level to go into. But what's a Mario game without the new set of enemies? So with that, most of the common enemies are returning, like red Koopas, green Koopa Troopas, Goombas, Paragoombas, your classic Mario enemies. But with a new additions to Dry Bone, which is pretty much just a dead version of the turtle. Yeah, pretty gruesome. Except he can no longer die. He will just come back to life, which some magic, I guess. I don't really know how he comes back to life, but does for some reason. And all you can really do is just jump on him and break his bones, literally, and just wait for this guy to come back to life. Yeah, pretty spooky actually. Then you have a Thwomp, which, yeah, just by looking at the screen, he'll just literally come crashing as soon as you're in a certain amount of radius around him. And then he'll go slowly back up and rinse and repeat. And in this game, you have the fucking sun coming to attack you. Like, damn, everything just wanting to attack Mario in this game. Like, holy shit. But yeah, the sun doesn't really do anything too special. All he does is swing around and try to hit you by coming down. But it's not really that effective, so half the time you're just running or flying by him. So I didn't really count his enemy too much in the game. Fire snakes, which honestly, just like the name, they just blow fire at you. Big Bertha, she actually has the unique ability to one shot you regardless of what power up you have. Whether you're small Mario, big Mario, doesn't matter. She'll just eat you whole. Like, goddamn, no wonder she's called Big Bertha. But another weird thing she has the ability to just throw up her kids and then swallow them. I don't really know what was going on right there, but it's a thing. It's a thing, and I'm kind of scarred for it. But whatever, I guess. You know, it's a Nintendo game for everyone. E for everyone, right? Now you have a walking piranha plant, which has a spike ball that it's blowing higher or lower, and it can adjust its breath. Jellyfish, you know, nothing too special. I'm just gonna show some gameplay and then move on. Spike, they have the ability to throw up the spike balls that they ate, which I don't. My god, that must have fucking hurt. Like, what the hell? You have these baby Goombas, which hide in blocks and have the ability to jump really high. And of course, you can't even tell which ones they are until they actually start to show up. Boo blocks, which when I read this, I thought I said booby blocks, and I was like, what the fuck was I playing again? But I meant to say boo blocks, which, hence the name. They're just a block made out of boos, I guess. I guess it's like multiple boos into one, and they got like fused or like mashed. I don't really want to think about it since that's kind of gross. Since they're probably like leaking ectoplasm everywhere or something. God damn, where's the Ghostbusters when you need them? But yeah, all they do is just pop out of their little block and just go around it. I don't really understand the point of them. I mean, kind of a sad existence since they're just literally in that block forever and they can't seem to move out of it. But I mean, I guess fuck them since they're an enemy, right? Boomerang Bros, which all they do is throw boomerangs, hence the name. Yeah. Now for the Fat Hammer Bros. I mean, I don't really know if I should feel insulted. I mean, I'm kind of fat too, but goddamn, I don't be making shockwaves when I hit the ground. Like, holy shit, look at this. Other than that, just a regular hammer bro. I don't really know why they made him fat to symbolize that. They could have just made him big or muscly or something. I guess Nintendo's fat phobic or some shit. So just like the sun attacking you, you have fucking candle lights. Yeah, candle lights just randomly throw fire at you, and it's like, what? Like, what? Now, I actually have an interesting story about chain chomps, and that being that when Miyamoto was creating this enemy, he actually thought about a dog that he had horrible memories with as a kid that was always latched down. So, every time I think about a chain chomp, I always have to think about that little story and just go, damn, I wonder what that dog looked like. And now for this enemy, which looks extremely similar to this enemy, except this guy can actually have the ability to throw shit and have actual physical arms, like not just like legs that they use to walk on, but like legit arms, and they can throw blocks at you and just attack you from afar. Now these little white buds have the ability to just jump up and bite you. Yeah, nothing too special. Now for these red buzzy beetles, they actually don't attack you. They're just mainly there for platforms where you fly on. Now for this ball that's on fire, yeah, I don't really know what's going on. Apparently, once all its fire is gone, it just kills itself, which that's kind of a sad existence. All you do is throw fire at a plumber and then die. Fire Bros, which hence the name. All they do is throw fires. Most of these enemies are just pretty much reskins, but I mean, gotta talk about them, I guess. Monty Moles, which hence the name, they're moles, so they like to dig and shit and pop up from underground and all that shit. They pop up and they throw wrenches at you for some reason. They just, I guess, like to work on airships now. I mean, that's kind of a weird step in evolution, but whatever. I won't bitch at them too much. Going back to the Koopa Kid, now not just design based, but actual boss fight as well. Most of these guys actually have a unique boss fight. Of course, they're not too unique. For example, one of them throws balls at you, one of them throws rings at you, one of them is just fat and causes shock waves. The other one also does the same thing, except can attack, and yeah, that's really about it for those guys. Now, Boom Boom, which is the main enemy you fight in every castle level, he's not really too hard. All he does is just go into a shell and then pop out and you hit him. As you can see, I can kill him in 10 seconds. Even less than that. I mean, he does have the ability to transform his arms into wings somehow and fly, but even then, he's not really a much interesting enemy. I like to think of him lesser than a Koopa Kid. Now, with Mario's latest new tunes, I absolutely love each and every song that Miyamoto's team actually helped made. I just absolutely love each and every one of them. I don't think a single song is my least favorite, which is very surprising since the previous entries I barely remember any songs, if any at all. So honestly, I'm really blown away. Honestly, you should give the songs a listen and just be memorized. And once you finally do defeat all the bosses, you actually go and fight Bowser himself, which in this case, there's no axe to actually make him fall, so he actually started learning in this game. But then his dumbass forgets this motherfucker weighs like 300 pounds, and so he literally breaks the ground itself and falls to his death. Like, dude, come on. Now, I know it may look like I'm actually just overlooking majority of the game, which isn't exactly the case. I mean, I know I am a bit tired of playing Mario games at this point since I played literally 4 of them in a row, but I can assure you that is not the case. What it is the case though is that I said in the beginning of the video, Miyamoto wanted to create the ultimate game, which in my opinion, I think he succeeded. This is honestly my favorite classic Mario NES mainline game. Out of all the games I reviewed so far, at least NES era, you should honestly 100% play Super Mario Bros. 3. I really do think it's deserving of the hype. The level designs, the music, the enemies. I could just go on about this game, but the reason I'm not is because it's just like the other ones, except it's the ultimate version of it. Much like a fighter game where you have the first edition, which is not bad for its time and pretty revolutionary during the time, maybe as well. But over time, it gets a little bit, not as good. Then you have the Ultimate Edition, which is just everything that you know from before except the Ultimate Edition. And that's really what I can say in just a one sentence is this is the ultimate Mario game, at least for the NES. And just that alone should give you enough to actually try to experience the game yourself. And yeah, I mean, other than that, I could really consider this the ultimate ending for the NES games. Like, I can honestly agree with that. And I'm happy because I really did enjoy every single second of playing this game with me and my friend. Sure, we suck ass at it a lot of times, but I mean, like, who really gives a shit, you know? It's just us having fun. and I had fun. Unlike the previous ones, which I enjoyed Mario Bros. 1 and I enjoyed Lost Levels a little bit more, and USA could have been a lot more better if it went more into it, but Super Mario Bros. 3, I legitimately just had fun with it. And for that reason, I think you should really try it if you haven't yet. At least this one more so than the previous ones. And with that, that's really all I gotta say about this game. So have a good morning, good night, wherever you're at. And if it's your birthday, happy birthday, man. And have a peaceful day. And next time, I don't know about you guys, but I've been kind of a little bit of a headache. Might need to go see my friend Raz about this.